It's Halloween, bros. The family is out of town, so like normal adult men do, you dress up, get some beer, play with your knives, and beat on some wood. And what better knife to help you celebrate being an adult who makes adult decisions than the DPx HEST original, the Harsh Environment Survival Tool, or your backyard. It's actually just a fancy way of saying fixed blade knife that has parts where you can pry crap and open up beer. The HEST is a USA-made knife designed by Robert Young Pelton and made by Reown Manufacturing, whoever they are. This knife has been made by several companies, and you'll find those variations on the internet too. The first thing you'll notice about the knife is it's not super large, as evidenced by the numbers segment, where I show you the overall length. Doot, 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 doot. The blade size, the cutting edge, the handle length, the grip area, the spine thickness, the handle thickness, and the weight with and without the sheath. Now, it's not a huge knife blade-wise, so it's not going to baton large pieces of wood, but you don't have to listen to me because I'm just an idiot on YouTube. Go baton whatever you want. The full tang blade is made from a high carbon 1095 steel, which means rust if you don't take care of it. But since Rowan knows you think a scream mask is still scary, they also figure you don't sometimes take care of your stuff, so they powder coated it. The powdered coat is just that. It's not Teflon-y like a Schrade, and it's not that matte, smooth DLC either like on a Spyderco. It's a real textured powder coat. The blade grind appears to be a high, flat, and drop point blade. Now, I can't find that info anywhere, but that's my diagnosis, and that's what it looks like to me, and I've never been wrong in any of my videos before. The handle has micarta scales held onto the blade with luxurious brass screws. The micarta feels nice and fabricy. They have that cool little skull dude with a DP written on his hat, which I assume stands for dangerous places, but I really don't know what the guy's into. They're easily removable, and there's even a washer on the paracord attached to the Kydex sheath, so you can remove them in the, quote, field, and drop one of the screws and look for it for 20 minutes like I did. Oops. That means you can wear this around your neck as a neck knife, if that's your MO. I'd probably just use the sheath, when you do that, but you're allowed to make your own decisions. There's several lashing points around the body to make all sorts of creative animal traps like Bear Grylls does on television, and they're easily covered up when stripping it down to make a spear just like the cavemen did. There's also a quote wire breaker here, that's what it's called, in case you like doing electrical work with just a knife crudely like the cavemen did. It's about as effective as you think it would be because there doesn't seem to be any sort of edge inside that notch. Let's see what else. There's the pry bar on the back, and you're like, isn't that what the tip is for? Well, that's true. All knife people know knives are really meant for prying. This one has a point on the back, so you can safely hold the knife by the blade and pry this way, or you can hold it by the handle this way and pry up and backwards toward your face or chest. I thought the whole point of prying with the blade is to keep the blade away from your body when whatever it is you're prying decides to release suddenly, but what do I know? In reality, the pry bar on the back is useful because it can keep your hand from slipping backwards when you're cutting. So the handle is nice and large and it fits my hand well. There's plenty of room on the handle even though it's only a 3-inch bladed knife. There's some jimping up top on the blade. It's not sharp, a bit rounded, but it's there if you need it. It's not, the fine textured Spyderco stuff like I like, but there's no jimping anywhere else. Sometimes jimping on fixed blades or pocket knives can suck and cause blisters if you're not careful, like sometimes I do. Anyway, the most useful part other than the blade for me is, you guessed it, the beer opener. Oh yeah, / pry bar. But you can also put your thumb there too. But mostly it's so you can get drunk, sit downstairs in a dark room, and play with your knives. The sheath. The sheath is a Kydex one. You can use it with the belt clip and without it. It includes hardware for both. It can be put on either side for left or right-handed carry. I like this style of sheath because you can put it on the belt or keep it in the pocket, which is what I prefer. Come on, idiot. Take off your costume for this part. I know you think it was a clever idea. In the pocket, it's fine, but when on the belt, it rides up way too high on my love handles for comfort. And I don't know about having that pointy thing there. I could see a 1 in a million chance, or more like me 1 in 500, of me falling on it wrong, twisting, and giving myself a field appendectomy. Now let's beat on our wood, so I can make a spear handle for that gag earlier in the video. You're like, how's that possible? That part's already happened. The trend in fixed blade knives is to get more big league, and gimmicky, it seems. At least if you like making generalizations without backing them up with data like I do. I once read in a camping book that anything more than a 3-inch folding pocket knife was stupid, and even carrying a camp axe was dumb because when are you going to cut down trees? Well, this is a reasonable size for most of the stuff you do while camping or making a dumb Halloween video for YouTube. Cutting food, skinning small game if you killed your food, cutting rope or paracord, or breaking down wood for kindling, or, batoning, which is also a regular useful camp activity, especially in national parks where you can't even start fires, but whatever. Okay, after spending some time in the field with it, well, maybe not breaking down kindling. While the blade is stout, whilst chopping, my finger would occasionally hit the pry bar on the back, or whatever it's called, the pry awl. This is not a convenient blade for any kind of chopping. You're like, I can tell, dope. I mean, you can do that stuff, but don't expect it to be efficient or super comfortable. And after the spear is skinned, let's do what we should all do with fixed blades. Show me your baton! I'm really sorry, French people. I learned my accent from Peter Sellers. Let me start by breaking down this wood with my est wing to prepare for batoning, because there's no way in hell I'd ever want to try to chop through this wood. It would take forever. So you're going to baton with it then, huh? Yeah, just give me a second, okay? All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's see how far I get while I talk for another minute. So this knife is a good, hard, use small to medium size blade. It's lighter than you think because of the skeletonized handle, but the blade is thick and stout. You're probably not going to break it. Probably. It's a general purpose outdoor blade where you need something that will stand up to the crap being beat out of it, or just doing normal knife stuff like you really should do with it. The necklace option, the holes, and the pry stuff are all useless to a dude like me except the notch that opens beer. The balance isn't bad, it ain't butt heavy, but it is pretty tiring doing this. So you're like, where's your costume? Huh? Let's get it over with. Alright, finally the only smart thing you've done the whole video. Let's do this. You're like, are you wearing eye protection? So after this ordeal, the blade held up fine. Alright, if you like my review, subscribe to my channel, share my video amongst your friends, in your Bible studies, and secretly in your KBA circles, which stands for Knife Buyers Anonymous. But not children, because they may think this is how you're supposed to behave with a knife. Like my video, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment about the proper way to use the pry bar and why I'm an idiot for not doing it right. Alright, now go and terrorize y'all's neighborhoods. Happy Halloween!